Okay, technical issues. Okay, good morning, Mayor and members of council. My name is Xiaoying Piao, or you can call me Marina. I'm speaking on behalf of the Richmond Hill Pickleball Club. First, I would like to thank council for recognizing the need for dedicated pickleball courts at Richmond Green. The proposed 12 courts are very positive step, and we appreciate that this project acknowledges what pickleball players have been saying.
Oh, you got it for rosacea?
Dedicated courts matter.
How did you get it?
Our concern, though, isn't that Richmond Green is moving forward. Our concern is that a major pickleball facility may be finalized before Richmond Hill has decided what its long-term pickleball strategy should be. For the past 3 years, residents were told that major decisions about pickleball would be guided by the tennis and pickleball strategy. That strategy is still in draft form, and the final report is not expected until next year. And now council is now being asked to approve a major pickleball facility before the strategy is finished. To us, that doesn't seem to follow the process that residents were told would happen. The Richmond Hill Pickleball Club has grown into one of the largest pickleball organizations in York region. We now have more than 3,000 members in our network. And every week we run lessons, we do leagues, organized plays, beginner programs, women's programs, and seniors programs, and also competitive inter-club league matches. We know what the demand looks like because we live it every single week. Programs sell out, wait lists grow, and players are asking for more opportunities to play. So that's why we believe Richmond Green represents an incredible opportunity, not simply to build 12 courts, but to create the foundation for Richmond Hill's long-term pickleball future. So we simply ask that before the project is finalized, council ensure that it aligns with a complete pickleball strategy rather than moving ahead before that strategy has even been completed. So to the pickleball players and for, the residents of Richmond Hill, this is once in a generation opportunity. We like to see, it goes right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So the next speaker is Carol Monroe for the same item, 11.8, Richmond Green Master Plan.
You must be getting sick of seeing me. Good morning, Chair, Mayor, and councillors. I'm with the Pickleball Advocacy Group, and although I'm grateful for there being pickleball courts included in the Richmond Green Revitalization Plan, I'd like to begin by pointing out what I believe is a significant inconsistency in the report, and like Marina, we're on the same page. On one hand, the report proposes a new indoor 12-court pickleball facility at Richmond Green. Yay! On the other hand, it states that future indoor pickleball planning will depend upon the completion of the tennis and pickleball strategy. What? If the strategy is not yet complete, how can council confidently approve a major pickleball project before the long-term strategy has been finalized? Surely the strategy should guide the investment, not the other way around. At last week's meeting, Councillor Silovitz referred to the draft tennis and pickleball strategy as the facts. Respectfully, I see it differently. The document is primarily an inventory and recommendations report. It identifies facilities with questionable definitions of what a facility is, but does not provide a meaningful pickleball strategy. There is no clear indoor strategy. There is no community pickleball club strategy. There is no long-term vision for organized play or how community clubs fit into the future of Richmond Green. What concerns me even more is that council may not be hearing directly from the people who use these facilities every day. If you visited the dedicated pickleball courts at Bayview Hill or King's College Park, you would see overcrowding, long waits, and programs that fill almost immediately. If you spoke with players, you would learn that lined tennis courts and temporary pop-up courts were useful as short-term solutions, but they are not what players are asking for today.
Okay, thanks.
Have you reviewed or tracked usage over the last few years? I was also surprised to read in the city's 2026 budget insert a reference to new courts at Rouge Woods and Richvale. Really? Did I miss something in the 2026 budget report? This is the first many of us have heard of it. Can someone ask this question after I conclude, or can we stop now and ask the question so it's not forgotten or dismissed? If Rouge Woods is getting new courts, please consider creating proper pickleball courts with permanent pickleball lines and removable pickleball net posts instead of continuing to rely on badminton lines and floppy nets. It could become an excellent interim indoor solution while a permanent year-round facility is planned. Most importantly, before approving any pickleball courts, I ask council to hold a public pickleball town hall before these decisions are finalized. Invite council, invite staff, invite the consultants, invite the Richmond Hill Pickleball Club, invite the Pickleball Advocacy Group. Most importantly, invite the residents who play the game. Let's stop talking through reports and start talking to each other. If the reports accurately reflect what residents are experiencing, that discussion will confirm it. If they don't, then this is our opportunity to improve them before major decisions are made. Richmond Green is a tremendous opportunity. Let's make sure we get it right by building the right-sized facility with the right pickleball strategy and with the community, not simply for the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Monroe. And council meetings always welcome the members of the public to join us here. So don't worry about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the next speaker is Barry Ranieri. For the same item, Richmond Green Master Plan.
Good morning, Mayor and members of council. My name is Barry Ranieri, and I am a proud member of the Richmond Hill Pickleball Advocacy Group. I became a member because I have become increasingly frustrated watching Richmond Hill fall behind every surrounding municipality when it comes to pickleball. I play often and hear the frustrations and concerns firsthand. This isn't just about pickleball anymore, it's about how decisions are being made. Today, you are being asked to approve the Richmond Green Revitalization Master Plan, including 12 dedicated pickleball courts. Let me be clear, we welcome those 12 courts. They are desperately needed. However, I don't understand how council can approve this proposal while the city's own draft and tennis and pickleball strategy says the long-term direction for pickleball is still being determined. The proposed strategy is still open for public feedback until the end of July. For 3 years, we were told major pickleball decisions had to wait until the strategy was completed. Now we're building first and planning later. This seems backwards. The draft report itself raises more questions than it answers. It counts dedicated pickleball courts, lined tennis courts, temporary parking lot courts, arena floors, gym courts together as pickleball inventory. These are not the same. A lined tennis court is not the same as a dedicated pickleball court. A temporary parking lot court with portable nets is not the same as a dedicated pickleball court. Hear me when I say no one wants to play on GO station parking lot courts.
The system is really kind of
Counting them all equally creates a very different picture of pickleball availability than what players experience every day. If you visited Bayview Hill, you would see players waiting while nearby lined tennis courts often sit empty. If you visited Richmond Green, you would hear directly from players about the limitations of the temporary pop-up courts. The persistent wind is the fifth player on the court. Those are the realities that should be informing this decision. The other major concern is the draft report contains no pickleball club strategy. Your 2017 tennis strategy recognizes the importance of community clubs, yet after 3 years of study and approximately $150,000 in consulting fees, there is no comparable strategy for pickleball clubs, no clear role for organized play, and no explanation of how clubs will access Richmond Green. We also know from municipalities like Vaughan and Newmarket that new dedicated courts will fill quickly. If Richmond Green is successful, and we hope it is, these 12 courts will be at capacity almost immediately. So what happens next? What is phase 2? Where is the indoor strategy? What is the long-term vision? I respectfully ask council to pause and listen. Before final decisions are made, hold a public pickleball consultation with council staff, Richmond Hill Pickleball Club, the Advocacy Group, and residents. We present our concerns here at these council meetings, but have no ability to agree, expand, or refute your comments after we speak. Come and hear directly from the people who use these facilities every day. Good planning starts by listening to the community. We all want Richmond Hill to succeed. Let's make sure we get this right. I'm aware that a fellow member of the advocacy group sent his comments in earlier this week as he was unable to attend today's meeting. Please take the time to carefully read his thoughts and insights. Lastly, you may recall receiving an email from the advocacy group prior to last council meeting. There we proposed some questions to ask. We had been hoping it would be helpful, but as it turned out, the city has now blocked our email address. Why was this done? How are we to communicate with our councillors as a group? Please carefully consider all of the comments you have heard today on this matter, and do not let our time here today be for naught. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the next speaker is Teresa Mialdo for the same item. Richmond Green Master Plan. Oh, it's online.
All right.
Ms. Mialdo, the floor is yours, and you can speak anytime.
Hi, good morning. My name is Teresa Miotto, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Richmond Hill Pickleball Club. I'd like to speak about what our members are experiencing today. The Richmond Hill Pickleball Club hears from players every day, and the message has changed dramatically over the past few years. When pickleball was new, players were happy to play almost anywhere. Lined tennis courts, temporary pop-up courts, community centers, parking lots. Those facilities did help introduce people to the game. But today, players are telling us something different. They want dedicated courts. They want organized play, and they want year-round opportunities. Increasingly, our members are traveling outside Richmond Hill because that's where those opportunities exist. We're now out operating indoor programs in Aurora. Our members regularly play in Vaughan and Markham. Within the next year, many will likely be traveling to Newmarket, where 20 additional dedicated courts are under construction. Even our competitive inter-club league reflects this reality. Our Richmond Hill teams compete against clubs across York region. Ironically, many of our matches are being played at our opponents' dedicated facilities because those are the facilities that clubs prefer to play on, and those are the locations where those facilities are available. That tells us something important. The expectations of pickleball players have changed. Temporary solutions served a purpose, but today players are looking for permanent solutions. We appreciate the proposed Richmond Green courts because they move us in that direction. Our hope, though, is that this project becomes the beginning of a larger vision and not the end of the conversation. So thank you for your time. I appreciate your consideration of these matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miodo. And the next speaker, Mr. Michael Bocott, for the same item, Richmond Green Master Plan.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Mike Bocott. I'm here today to speak again. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Richmond Hill Pickleball Club and specifically to the Richmond Green Revitalization Plan before you today. Before I begin, I'd like to draw your attention to the written submission that the club provided in advance of the meeting. We've added in some key items in here for you to consider because at the previous council meeting, there was some discussion about line tennis courts, parking lot courts, and dedicated courts, and there was really no distinction being made between them. But I think Michelle Dobby answered Scott Thompson's question with regards to line tennis courts are not being used going forward here. So we wanted to include this report for you. First, I'd like to thank Council for recognizing the need for dedicated pickleball courts. The 12 dedicated courts for Richmond Green are an important step forward, and the pickleball community, including our network of 3,000 plus players, generally appreciate the investment. We do support more large dedicated pickleball hubs. That is the future. That is the way to go. However, after reviewing the report before you, we are left with three important questions. First, the draft pickleball and tennis strategy does not clearly distinguish between dedicated pickleball courts and temporary facilities, such as line courts, parking lot courts, and seasonal arena courts. Temporary facilities certainly had a role, but they are not the equivalent to purpose-built pickleball courts and should not be counted the same way when measuring inventory or planning for future demand. The distinction matters because it directly affects how the city plans for one of the fastest growing sports in North America, and particularly in Richmond Hill, where we have the most vibrant pickleball community in all of York region. According to Apple Heart's movement study, pickleball participation among Apple Watch users surpassed tennis for the first time in 2023, reflecting the extraordinary growth of the sport, combined with 5 consecutive years as North America's fastest growing sport. The question isn't whether the demand will continue, it's whether Richmond Hill will be ready for it. For the past 3 years, the community has repeatedly been told that major decisions regarding pickleball we had to wait for the tennis and pickleball strategy. I believe some of these previous speakers spoke to that. There seems to be a disconnect. So my question is very simple. What exactly is council approving today? A year-round enclosed pickleball facility or 12 outdoor courts while another study determines whether an enclosure will happen? Should we not all know what to expect and when to expect it?
Oh my gosh.
Finally, our biggest concern is not about 12 courts. It's about what happens after they're built. Where is Richmond Hill's pickleball strategy? Not a facility strategy, not a pickleball strategy. Every organized sport in Richmond Hill has an organization behind it. Baseball, soccer, hockey, swimming, tennis. Tennis has a tennis strategy from 2016.
It's going to be impossible at this point.
Yet nowhere in these reports is there any meaningful strategy explaining the city's long-term plan for the pro pickleball courts or the relationship with the Richmond Hill Pickleball Club or how community pickleball organizations fit in, if they fit in at all. Today, our network exceeds 3,000 players, and a lot of them want to know what's happening in Richmond Hill. A lot of them are traveling outside of Richmond Hill to play. We organize learn-to-play programs, leagues, tournaments, competitive teams, and we're actually playing in Aurora, and we're moving to other locations outside Richmond Hill to play, because players are demanding to play on dedicated courts now that all surrounding municipalities are increasing their inventory of dedicated courts. We would much rather represent Richmond Hill in Richmond Hill with our competitive teams, which are actually playing competitive matches at our surrounding municipalities. There's one final point I'd like to ask council. During the April 1st council meeting, Councillor Michael Shue asked whether another baseball diamond could be removed to create a properly sized pickleball facility. Council was told that baseball is very lucrative. However, the city's own consultation findings tell a different story, and you'll see in the appendix there. The consultation states that although Richmond Green has several baseball diamonds, the baseball organizations themselves advise that not all those diamonds meet their needs or can be used because some are not regulation size. The same consultation also recommends Richmond Green respond to emerging sports like pickleball, recognizing its rapid growth and increasing participation rates. Those findings raise an important question. It's financial considerations are driving recreation and planning decisions, and council and public deserve transparent evidence. How many residents use those baseball diamonds? What are the utilization rates? What are the revenues and operating costs? And how do those compare to a year-round pickleball facility serving thousands of residents? That is exactly why evidence-based recreation planning matters. Council should be making decisions based on documented community needs and transparent analysis, not assumptions. In closing, the Richmond Hill Pickleball Club is not simply asking council to build more courts. We're asking council to build a sustainable pickleball community, one that combines dedicated facilities, year-round access, community partnerships, programming, leagues, youth development, which we're getting increasing long-term vision for Canada's growing sports, because courts are built.
You need to keep a record of everything you've been putting into it, all the taxes, everything.
So, Mr. Bogart, can you just wrap up in 30 seconds because your time is running out?
Netted against it.
Yeah, it needs a vision for the thousands of residents who will use them and those that are wanting to get into the game.
Okay.
And in wrapping up, we do support town hall meeting and all stakeholders in one room where we can have dialogue back and forth and answer questions, because it is very frustrating for us when we hear stuff being talked about and we don't have the ability to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Boycott. Sorry about that, because your time is running out. It's over 5 minutes already, so we have to stop it here. And we listened to you loud and clear already. So we have the last delegate today, the last speaker.
The point I made to President Trump when we spoke a few days ago is that he is looking for a shift of the burden within NATO. That's appropriate. That is happening. That's gaining momentum. That's part of the point I made to President Trump when we spoke a few days ago, is that it's not just he's winning the argument, he's won the argument. Countries recognize that they need to take more responsibility. They see the direct threats. Now, the question for NATO, and part of what we will discuss, and part of the point I will make in the room with my 3.5 minutes of time, so which is about a quarter of the length of my normal answer right now, so I apologize. Those shifting burdens are going to be, in our view, most effectively done. Obviously, with greater capacity, we have to spend more. We have to build these capacities. That's what we're doing.